I'm going to try to give this talk without breaking something. I'm going to try to give this talk without ripping something up in my office that I care about. My name is Ed Trevors. I'm an Anglican priest in the Diocese of Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island. I get to serve in the beautiful town of Shelburne, Nova Scotia, in the amazing, awesome parish of Christ Church, Shelburne, that sits on the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. And today, I want to talk to you about a Trump rally. Starting to feel a little tight at the moment. So last week, Trump held a rally in Phoenix, Arizona, at a megachurch. Massive, 20,000 plus seat facility. And I seen the release of it. I seen part of his press release. And I'm not here today to talk about his politics. I'm not here to talk about his mannerisms. I'm not here to talk about his... I'm not here to talk about him. He wasn't, oddly enough, he wasn't the saddest part of this story for me. As a matter of fact, the saddest part of this story wasn't even the racist remark he made about Asian people of Asian descent. As horrible as it is that a president of the United States today, given everything that's going on in the world, would say something like that, given all the attention that is now being shined on inequality and injustice and racism and all those things, that he would use this kind of language. That's not the saddest part of this story for me. And I apologize. That might be offensive in and of itself, and I apologize if it is, but just hear me out. The saddest thing that I heard in that moment was the crowd yelling at him to say it. This crowd of people in this church yelling at the president, yelling this term out at the president to try to get him to say it, to goad him into saying it, to offer it to him as this ridiculous lamb to be slaughtered on the altar of this hate. They called out to him. And as soon as I heard them, my brain just started screaming, "Crucify him, crucify him, crucify him." Remember? From the crucifixion story? When Pilate gave the crowd the opportunity to free Jesus, all his fellow Jews, all his fellow Hebrews, his fellow Israelites, his community, his people, they all yelled out to Pilate, "No! Crucify him!" Now I understand not everybody in that church was a member of that church. I understand that not everybody in that church is a Christian. But it happened in a church. It happened in a church. And as far as I'm concerned, that church was desecrated by that moment. As far as I'm concerned, those involved in allowing that hatred to be spoken in their facility have lost their authority to be shepherds of their flock. My God, it made me angry, and it made me want to scream. It made me want to cry. The church is not meant for that. Whether it's a building or a community, we are not meant for political purposes. We are not meant to endorse hate. If our churches are speaking that kind of garbage and filth, then it loses its place in God's kingdom. We are meant to be the other. We are meant to stand with the oppressed. We are meant to be chained with the prisoner. We are meant to heal, not harm. And in that room, during his speech, that crowd may as well have been yelling, "Crucify him." Because when they yelled out that racist remark, when they offered that to Trump to add to his laundry list of idiocy, they forgot. They forgot what Jesus says about the other person. They forgot what Jesus says about the prisoners and the widows and the orphans, what he says about the sick and the hungry and the thirsty. They forgot that Jesus says, when you do for the least of mine, you do for me. It is me that you are offering these gifts to. And so when you speak hatred and when you yell out racist remarks like that, especially if you're a Christian, then you forget that every human being walking this planet today is the image of God. And when you say things that degrades an entire people, all of whom are the image of God, then the words you use degrade God. That is not who we are as a church. That is not who we are as a people. That is not who Jesus is. That is not who God calls us to be. Again, I know full well that not everybody in that building that night at Trump's rally, not all of them are Christian, not all of them are members of that church. Right. But everybody all over the world watching the news, hearing those people call those words out, cheering so disgustingly loudly when Trump used those words at their encouragement. The people around the world that are watching don't know that. What they know is that Trump was in a mega church for a rally. The quick and easy connection is the people in that building belong to that church. And if they were in a Christian church, then all of us who worship Jesus Christ, we get painted by that same brush. And worse still, those people out there that don't believe, those people out there that are that are fighting their belief, those people out there that are demeaning our belief. What have you given them? You've given them ammunition. You've shown them why they would want nothing to do with us. For those of you that are out there wondering, what are we supposed to do about it? The answer is we be kingdom people. Focus our attention on God and on God, on what God would like us to do, what God would ask us to do, how God would ask us to behave. See these people as a strange, grotesque anomaly to our faith, and show the world who Jesus truly is through our words, through our actions, through our responses, through our giving, through our courage, and through our love. May God bless you. May God keep you. May God make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you. And may you know the peace of being in God's presence. And may you feel the reward of being a follower of Jesus Christ, who plants love and peace everywhere they go. Amen.